stakes are. Rise has to win out completely a 2-0 victory if they want to be moving into tomorrow's top 8 competition.
That's right. If you're just joining us, we are watching this group stage right here. Also, if you're just joining us, where have you been, you silly goose? We've had so many amazing games. Come on, get in here. AKJIL versus Rise Gaming. We see Inteleon being banned out by Rise. Inteleon obviously been such a power Pokemon here today. And Sororororororororg being banned out by AKJIL.
A big call out towards Rise Gaming. Of course, Rise Gaming known for playing this Pokemon, but I think honestly the region of Brazil or even Latin America or South America in general, so many good speedster players, and just an immediate call out from AKJIL. This is going to give them the option for the Lapras, and now Rise Gaming has that double pick to use. Hoopa pick, I would say, is very favorable here.
Yeah, Hoopa is just such an amazing choice. Not many teams will first pick it. It feels like Lapras is the belle of the ball here in day one, getting the most first picks that I've seen throughout this tournament if it is not banned. Another first pick here on the side of Rise, Blastoise, which I have not seen go early that often. I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm not sure I'm in love with it as a first pick, but obviously it works well for their strategy.
Yeah, I mean, Rise Gaming just wants this one basically no matter what. Having that Pokemon on their side, it seems like that's going to be their draft strategy. Now, I would really love Rise Gaming to pick up the Urshifu here, mostly because I know AKJIL's S4L is a truly incredible Urshifu player. I would love to see this taken away. Hey, fantastic. Yeah, I will send my bill in the mail to Rise Gaming.
Yeah, incredible. And I'll start billing a lot of these teams just for general things. You know, yeehaws and stuff like that. Stuff that I don't think I can build them for, but I absolutely will try. As we see AKJIL bringing out the Zacian, which has had some up and down games today, but boy, when it's on, it is a force.
Zacian, and then of course the Clefable to be there with the Umbreon and Lapras, that big, 3-player kind of freight train that moves towards those enemies, so tough to face in those team fights. Final pick from Rise Gaming is going to be the Gardevoir, which into double defender, I do think is very strong. The problem is there is the Zacian on the other side, which I think is a very tough matchup for Gardevoir.
You know, the nice thing here is Guardy can play at pretty great range. Absolutely. They don't have insane dive on the side of AKJIL, right? But at the same time, I feel like Guardy is just one of those Pokemon that it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
It's whether they catch a couple huge moments, they catch that Unite move, or they don't. And they just feel like, ugh, I really wish this was another Pokemon. But you know what? I wish you and I weren't casting this game. In fact, my wish is actually going to be granted right here because we have the incredible combination of Chefosaurus. Kello, Wonder Chef, why don't you take it away?
You are welcome, Spraggles. Your wish is granted. Actually, it's not. You're going to have to get back on the mic right now. I'm sorry. Yeah, we just got word from production. No, just kidding. What an exciting match. We might have a Korean team qualifying. I love the video. Kello, did you like their video as far as like kind of what they were saying together?
Oh, definitely. I think just being able to say they would beat that team. Yeah. They don't need to pick other players from other regions. They want to show what they're made of.
Well, guess what? Apparently that's right, because they are one game away from qualifying for the finals day, being the sole qualifier from their region. An amazing showing in what was a very difficult group that I don't think they were expected to come out of quite so dominantly.
No, not at all, but here we go, game one. We have AKJIL versus Rise Gaming. We do have that Eevee and Mew heading into that bot path, making sure to have that experience share. It looks like they are leaving that Bunnelby, going for that shared Indeedee there.
That's right. We are going to see the Zacian, though, trying to get some of that early center EXP. And now there's a Hoopa in their area. And I don't know if that's good for the Hoopa. You might be ringing and you're like, oh my God, wait, no, help me. Let me out of here. I did not want to pet this dog. Not at all. Went back in, actually. That is a very interesting choice. Wow, manages to get the berry. That was actually really kind of a flip right there, but still not going to be able to get away. And that Hoopa is for sure going down.
Look, for sure going down, but the amount of time that they just wasted on that Zacian, wasn't able to get that blue buff, obviously going back, but we do have an Urshifu that is now online, and they are diving on this little Eevee, and it ends up getting taken down.
Wow, being able to stop that Eevee from evolving this early on before the bird spawn, that is actually going to be gigantic. Zacian's been able to help confirm a lot of those. In fact, pretty much all of them, it looks like. But in the meantime, you're just going to be getting the confirms on the player Pokemon from the side of Rise Gaming.
Look, this is why Zacian has been banned. The Sacred Sword is such an incredible AoE movement. Trying to defend here, Urshifu was able to dash on out, but can it make the escape? Oh my gosh, the Solar Beam there to take down two members.
The boosted auto just tracking down that poor little Squirtle. It's trying to waddle away. It doesn't have very large legs. Come on, let it get out of there. That's pretty mean. But this has been a lot of trading back and forth. Honestly, I mean, I guess we would expect it, especially with who we see out of the center area from both of these teams. This has just been a brawl.
This has been a brawl, but you know what? There is so much on the line for this team. So you gotta get in early, shut them down, because you don't know what can happen late game. But those Swablu's and Altaria in that middle section were taken down without a flash. We do have the Espeon and the Curlier here trying to battle this feud, but it ended up getting a Rise Gaming sandwich.
Oh my gosh, look at how Corellia just barely escaping by an inch. And this is gonna be huge. If we can see Rise Gaming get a little bit of an early lead as they, well, they don't quite have it right now, but it looks like they're kind of grabbing some momentum. That's going to be big. They've got 2 3-stage Pokemon with the potentially Gardevoir and potentially Blastoise, and once those pop up, that's where they're going to be really strong. Before that, though, most of the power spikes have already been hit by the side of AKJIL, so they're going to want to just take these fights and win them, but right now they're not even doing quite so hot on that. They do have the XP maybe advantage, yeah, especially on that Zacian, but this could turn around very quickly.
Yes, the Zacian there getting a 2 KO streak up in that top half. They were able to get in some Aeos energy and break that top tier 1 pad as well. But we do have a basement Reggie, and it is a Reggie steal that has spawned. Rise Gaming not wasting any time to go in and dive on it, but Umbreon is here to get the stuns, and it ends up being Mew that gets the steal.
Great positioning from the Mew, and they can collapse right here. While the chase down from the aggressive Clefable, saying, I want to take that out. But the Corellia spacing has been so good. Escaping with very low HP multiple times. Get out of there, yes! Mew's taking an Uber all the way to the top tier 2.
Oh my gosh, what a beautiful Lapras Express to teleport that Mew up into that top half, and now they want to put the pressure on this tier 2 pad. Reggie Alecki is there knocking on the door. Can they be invited in? I do not know, but we do have War Turtle being taken down. There we go. Reggie Alecki walks on through, and now they are getting those dunks, and that is a home base wide open for the side of Rise Gaming.
Wow, so much aggression. They opted, while they had the opportunity to break that tier 2, especially on the top, that means that every Regieleki is going to be such a pain for Rise Gaming. They didn't get too much of an overdunk, but they do have such a significant lead anyway that I do feel like they want to just hold on to it, take that opportunity to make those Regieleki scary. So we'll see once we get the next set of objectives what they end up prioritizing, but I think it definitely could be tough.
Look, I think it's not only the Regieleki, but it's the space they create. The ability to go into Rise Gaming's central area and possibly take their buffs.
Yeah, this is going to be really difficult for them. And of course, also being against a Hoopa means that Hoopa only gets to really teleport, not from a great spacing. You know, you don't control that much of the rotation, except for the fact that there is that tier 1 down there on bottom for Rise Gaming still. So, I mean, that's also honestly a good thing for AKJIL. That means there's more opportunity for them to score. But here we go, gonna get the chase. Trying to chase down the Hoopa, not the easiest thing in the world. I guess wrong on the 50-50 right there. So just ended up wasting time. Hoopa's so good, but wow, gonna get 2 down on the side of AKJIL. They're going to be chasing all the way, trying to get that revenge. They're going to take down the tier 1, but in exchange, they lost a few members.
Yes, in exchange, but also it wasn't that much of an overcap, and we know those dunks to get that maximum point can make or break the game, but we do have Lapras securing themselves a Reggie steal. Once again, we have the Hoops unbound, trying to get those stuns on the Clefable. Is it going to get taken down? It ends up getting caught out by the Gardevoir on a 2 KO streak.
Ooh, everybody backing up here, really trying to get away. I mean, 2 members very low, and it looks like this Hoopa might be the one to go down. Once again, the mobility amazing. The Hoopa actually almost got away. It actually looked like they did, but they went down right before the hyperspace portal actually activated. So they wanted to make sure that at least the most valuable members of their team were not KO'd. They're a little bit of a bait. I think that was a really smart choice.
Definitely a smart choice, but you know what? We do have a Regieleki up in that top path. As we have mentioned, that home base is open, but it looks like they are going to prioritize getting their experience from these wild Pokemon and farm on up.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be such free reign for them to kind of take it whenever they want, because they know that nobody's going to be just kind of wandering around out there with both the Tier 1 and the Tier 2s gone on the side of Rise Gaming. And if anybody is wandering around out there just like that, they are in a dangerous position. You have to go so far back to get to one of your, I mean, you literally have to go to your own base to get to a safe spot.
Yes, that is a safe spot, but thankfully they do have a Hooper on their side, and you can see that AKJIL, they are trying to protect this Reggie Alecki at all costs. Now, sending them back home. Are they going to be able to get a steal? We have the rings outbound once again being popped on out, trying to get those stuns in. The Espeon popping their Unite move as well, and it ends up being the Zacian that ended up securing it for AKJIL Gaming.
Yeah, they are going to be losing 3 members, though. They're a lot low, so they're going to have... Oh, from behind out of nowhere, the Lapras taking out 2 from just the absolute best flank of all time. And that means that there is now a Regieleki going towards their home base. They weren't able to stop that huge score. The 50's going in, but it was, again, only the 50. So even though there's 2 Tier 1s down, the lead is still in the favor of AKJIL.
Yes, 266 points to 207. We have about roughly 30 seconds until the final stretch, but we do have a Regirock that has just spawned on down. We have a Shifu trying to dive on in, but 5 members of AKJIL, they are here. They want to take this buff for themselves.
Ooh, this is going to be really hard to steal, and yeah, the Zacian is such a good confirm. Everybody backing up. They know there's only one more fight here, and again, just as a reminder to everybody, the score is 0-0, but if AKJIL wins this game alone, they qualify for tomorrow. Rise has to win this set in a 2-0 fashion to even be able to stand a chance, so they have to really play out of their mind right now. For this final fight, the lead is not super significant, only a 69-point lead, nice, but it's not quite nice enough for anybody to feel comfortable, I think.
No, do not feel comfortable at all as they are waiting in that tall grass, possibly looking to get a pick. We have Blastoise poking on out, trying to draw out AKJIL here, get possibly one member that might end up getting caught out or possibly go in for a flip, but we have the Solar Blade to initiate and just chip out quite a fair bit of damage on 3 members, but thankfully they have a Hoover on their side, being able to teleport them back home and come back full HP.
Wow, and the Gardevoir actually didn't take it back, just in case that there was something waiting there for them. So now it's got much better positioning. However, this is really scary to try to move through this choke point right here. This can be just the ultimate trap. They're going to get a lot of healing, though, again, through this Hoopa. The Hoopa playing a very big deal in this fight. The Umbreon will be the one to engage. That's going to be a gigantic Unite, stealing so many shields. The shields coming, though, after the fact from the Unite, from the Blastoise. So Claim Breeze going down in exchange for the Gardevoir. That Gardevoir was really needed for the damage. Everybody low, though. Umbreon at 1 HP. Blastoise at 1 HP. And now they're all going down all in a row. Only 2 up, only 1 up. It's just the Espeon sitting in the bottom path. Does it have a chance of stealing this? No, because they're not even going to attempt the Ray. They're going for the scores. They've still got the Tier 1 up. They've got 43 points on the Zacian as well.
But the thing is, while they're going in for that back cap, the Lapras getting in some dunks there, just broadening that gap even further, and Clefable was able to jump on that pad and deny the Espeon from getting that 49 dunk in.
Oh, that might be it. 20 seconds left. There's 50 Eos energy in the pocket of the Espeon, but can it find an opportunity to get in? Even then, you would need more. Again, AKJIL only needed to win this to qualify, and that looks like that's going to be exactly what happens right here. A huge lead. Not even taking Ray. So well played, as they're going to be moving to the finals bracket tomorrow.
That must feel really good to know that you have locked in that top 8 spot for tomorrow.
I know, especially being the sole representative of your country to make it there. I should say your region. I'm sorry, it's not just a country. I mean, it kind of is, but your region to make it all the way to that finals bracket. And that just once again spreads out how many countries and how many regions we've had qualifying. But now we got to send it over to our analysts. Tell me about some numbers.
Wow, I mean, what a match for AKJIL. Obviously, they just needed 1 game. They took that 1 game ahead essentially the entire time, and this is obviously what they've been doing all day, because if they take out Rise right here, that'll make them 3-0 in their group.
Yeah, taking out teams like Amaterasu, most notably, I think, in this group was the big one to watch out for. But take a look at those numbers. Mule was 71,000 damage on this Lapras, but FA with 89,000 on this Mew. You watch that Mew play in that final team fight, you understand why this team of AKJIL is world class.
Yeah, and we saw that Lapras go very, very early, and you can see why that happened. Let's take a look at some of these big moments throughout this match. Nice big KO here from the Zacian. Down here in the bottom path, we have a fight back here from Rise Gaming. Things got pretty close there at the end, but AKJIL still able to take control of this match. They had a couple multi-level evolution Pokemon on the side of Rise Gaming, and that can always be hard. You get behind a little early playing these Pokemon like Gardevoir and Blastoise, and sometimes it's a little difficult to come back.
Look, I mean, we're here at the 6.5-minute mark, and we still don't have a Gardevoir or a Blastoise, right? These are very, very late-game scaling Pokemon, and due to the early-game pressure of AKJIL, it just got a whole lot harder for Rise Gaming. Now, credit towards Rise, though, as these highlights go on, we'll see sort of how they were able to mount a bit of a comeback and make this game quite close here. That goal zone left on just one, really priming it for a big overdone, but instead we just throw in 5.
Yeah, 5 is not exactly what they would like here, especially when they're already behind on score, but they're just trying to get that positional advantage away from AKJIL. And they know kind of at this point, as they're heading later into the match, about the 3-minute mark here, they're very aware that they need to win some massive fights.
Absolutely. Now, we do have an update on another group as well. This is going to be Group F. This is Team YouTube, OMO, Abyssinian as well, and then, of course, UD Vesuwan. YouTube is eliminated at this point statistically, so it's going to come down to UD versus OMO, and depending on how the results of that matchup goes, who makes it out of that group.
Yeah, incredible stuff here. I mean, we got to see some of those games on the B stage, and they were just absolutely massive games. Mule here on the Lapras, taking our MVP, 13 assists, 208 points, taking 62,000 damage there for the team. Ooh. And of course, I mean, AKJIL is feeling cool as a cucumber right now because they just qualified. Now they can maybe have some fun. I don't know what they're going to bring out in this game, but I mean, you can really do whatever you want at this point.
Yeah, playing with house money here for Team AKJIL. It is going to be an exciting time to be this squad. Rise Gaming, though, are still going to be competing, obviously, for some good seeding tomorrow when they try to have a little bit of that prize money competition as well, try to get into that higher spot. So you still want to come away with at least one game win in this matchup. AKJIL, though, wanting to come away 3-0 with a dominant force in this matchup, wanting to really prove that Korea is a region that is slept on globally and can contend with the best of the best. Rise Gaming going to ban away the Zacian, and of course Zoroark going to be the ban from AKJIL.
And you know what you could do here if you're AKJIL? You could first pick Mewtwo, okay? It's not allowed in this tournament. You'll take a loss on this match. However, you've already qualified right now. Let's bring it out. Let's see some Mewtwo here on the main stage.
Again, the forces that you are playing with, you do not understand. I need you to know this.
Bring us Mewtwo.
Inteleon going to be the first pick for Rise Gaming. Double defender for AKJIL. This is what they got to play last game. That is what they dominated with in game number 1. I think we might be looking forward to similar game patterns from AKJIL in game number 2.
I guess they were mostly worried about this Zacian because this feels like you might ban out the Zacian, you might take away the Lapras, but you know what? Also, I think Rise Gaming is just going to play the Pokemon they want to play in this situation.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at this point, again, it's still a proving ground for them as well. Brazil is a competitive region. We still have another team who is in contention to make it to top 8 next match. We're going to be deciding that one in a matchup very, very soon on the main stage when 0-0 Nation goes up against Talibobo Believers. So a very competitive game upcoming as well. But Rise Gaming want to showcase of hey, you got a lot to look forward to. Brazil can compete.
Yeah, of course. And you're up on the main stage. I mean, this is a big moment for you competing at the World Championship. So it's time to put on a show. Bring out all your best Pokemon. It's not time to play Greninja or something like that. AKJIL looks like they're locking in possibly this Glaceon as a last pick. And I have to say, I think like you mentioned earlier, Zoinks, a lot of people counted out Korea as a region in this. They just didn't seem as competitive as some of the other regions. Well, I think AKJIL is proving everyone wrong here today who doubted Korea because this team is looking phenomenal.
Listen, I'll fall on my sword in this situation. I definitely was one of those people. I didn't, when I looked at Korea and watched their VODs, I looked into their scrim data going into this tournament. I did not think a lot of stuff was going to come out of Korea. However, AKJIL proving me and everyone else wrong with an incredible tournament run so far, qualified for top 8, a chance to go 3-0 in their group right now, in what is going to be a very exciting game number 2. So we are going to throw it over to our casters. Kello and Wonder Chef, take it away.
Thank you so much, Spraggles and Zoinks, for that wrap up there. But obviously, AKJIL, they have progressed on through. It's just a time to shine and look impressive.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I'm just glad that we, as spectators, get a chance to see more of their play because, again, they just went through the entire thing about how a lot of people did not expect Korea to do well, and now this is an opportunity, a great opportunity for not only us to be able to see a region that we don't get to see as much of, but them get to show off exactly what they can do.
They can definitely show off what they can do, but you know what? It also gives these other teams that they are going to be versing tomorrow some homework to do and some intel knowledge.
All right, we know you love the homework,
no, I
Teacher
do.
Kello. But no, it is true. If any of these teams that have qualified tomorrow are not watching all of these games, then they are going to be at a disadvantage. But here we go. We are in game number 2. Now, again, AKJIL already qualifying for the bracket tomorrow, but nobody wants to go home without trying their best. That's one thing that we've seen from every single match today where we've already had qualifiers.
That's all we can ask from these teams, is to just try their best. But as we look up in that top half there, we have the Lapras going in and getting some dunking in. The Dojuo ends up getting caught out, but no, it ends up getting a berry, and now they are trying to contest this Bunnelby.
Ooh, this is going to be so hard for them to really do all that much, especially if this is going to be a stacking Doduo/Dodrio. That top path is just so hard to fight all the time. Hoopa and Lapras together. We've got the Glaceon up there. That seems like that's going to be a tough time. But oh no, this Mew's in a tough spot. Great eject button to get out of danger. However, we're maybe a bit of a sacrifice for that. Can we see this get away? And it, wow, it actually looks like there was maybe a turnout. They're like, well, I'd rather just take the Altaria than you. But in the end, it is going to go down. We are going to get the Ivysaur as well, and the biggest Altaria is going to be there.
But all the meantime, we do have a KO on the Glaceon. The Lapras has come back full HP through that Hoopa portal. Dodrio Drill Peck, this choice of the match.
Ooh, yeah, Drill Peck. Honestly, I could really see Tri-Attack working well just based on how much of like a frontline tanky type of level of team AKJIL is using. But Drill Peck's always going to be good as well. And some people just are not comfortable playing Tri-Attack even at a high level. And look at this. I don't think you're getting out of there. Yeah, that was a little bit much, I think, to try and defend that even on the pad by yourself. Oh, but there's some bullying going on even behind the pad. My goodness.
Yes, but he is allowing this Dodrio to get in those much-needed stacks earlier on. So, you know what? Is it a sacrifice? Is it distraction? That is the whole role of a defender, right?
Yeah, I said it last night. We were playing last night, and I said, if I'm not ending for stacks, something's wrong, you know? If you're not ending for stacks, then you're not playing the game. The stacks honestly mean so much. For anybody who's not familiar with that, there are some items where the more that you score, up to 6 times, you do get buffs, and that is what a lot of these Pokemon are trying to do today, and we're going to see that probably from the Dodrio and many others, even within this own match.
Yes, stacking items are definitely popular for a lot of these Pokemon here. But as we do wait in the tall grass here, waiting for those Swablu's and Altaria to spawn and get taken down, given that much-needed experience to these teams.
Right now, though, the level difference is not too high. The score difference isn't too high. 40 or, I guess, technically 39 is not a huge deal. I feel like things are going to start to really split off as we see both of the first Regis spawning. And whatever they can prioritize, whoever can get the most, of course, in this moment, I think is going to kind of break ahead, because it's been feeling really even to me so far.
Definitely even, because we do have a Glaceon, which is at level 8, does have a 2-night move. Inteleon does make its way down with its snipe shot, and Fell Stinger trying to get the hits and ends up missing that, but Glaceon found them and is on the chase. Managed to grab a berry and heal on up. We do have Regis that is currently on half HP. They are retreating on back, making sure to refresh their HP pools and take this next fight.
Ooh, yeah, that was actually kind of a nice backup from both teams. That is going to be even a little bit of a backup reset from Regis itself. Everybody resetting, whatever. Let's just start this entire thing over. Let's start the match over. Let's just go back 4 minutes. But honestly, a lot of HP dissolving from the side of AKJIL right here. They're approaching, but wow, that Lapras did so much damage. I don't know if it can finish off this Mew. All the enhanced attack wasn't quite enough to take out the Lapras, and the Umbreon coming in to at least make sure that Mew was not going to have free reign and try to get a Solar Beam to pick off those last 2 picks. So really good fight, but honestly, I didn't even see who got the Reggie in the middle of that.
Look, the sound of that Perish song dooming and coming close to you as you are such low HP. You obviously see the bar, and if it ends up getting one hit, you are taken down. So, you know what? Able to survive that and just ward them out. They are doing quite a great job as their defender.
They are, and you can see now the point lead starting to grow to a significant amount, although there's some counter scoring on the other side, as a lot of members of both teams are going to start to rotate up top. Yeah, that Hoopa is going to escape. If that was liquidation, I think that would have been a much tougher time escaping, but the sniper shot is going to take a little bit longer to try and get that confirmed. Labra's getting caught in position. There are beams from everywhere. I don't even know what's going on. You've entered a laser tag room, I think, and now it looks like we're going to have most of both teams start fighting for this red light.
Yeah, they're circling on around. We do have Glaceon here with those full stacks, making sure to keep them and try to get the maximum burst damage here. Regieleki is being leashed on. The Trevenant is just trying to keep it there. But look at this, Umbreon diving on in. Verdant Anger popping on out along with the rings unbound as well to just create this pressure on Rise Gaming.
This is a great, Hoopa unbound, but now they can't actually bring anybody back. And a few members like Umbreon are very low. Even using that Unite, it's very low. There's going to be a pick from Little Drill on the Venusaur. That's going to be huge. 2 members down now. The Umbreon that was low, the Hoopa that was still in unbound. So this is a huge win for Rise Gaming in this team fight. And now going to be able to break the tier 1 and then on top of everything, take this Regieleki pushing to the tier 2 to build space for, weirdly enough, the first Regieleki building space for the second basement Reggie.
Oh, we do have Umbreon looking in these bushes, looking for a steal, but no, it ends up being a Rise game. But all the meantime, I don't know if you saw on the minimap, we actually had Glaceon help themselves to Rise Gaming's buffs.
Hey, you know what? If you're not going to win the objective, you know where most of that team's going to be, you might as well go for that. But we're actually going to see, instead of building space for this basement Reggie, it looks like the side of Rise Gaming is going to be the one trying to help themselves to the other side's buffs. So we are just going to be trading the center area farm. And oh no, this is a pick for sure. That Lapras is not going to be able to escape, I feel. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, the snipe shot just barely missing. That's going to be huge. The Unite coming out a little bit late. Oh, that's going to stun the Inteleon. It's got to get out of there. I don't know if it can get out of... Oh, the Fell Stinger. A great escape. And that finally, that Lapras is going down.
They are going down. Their front line is down, but thankfully we do have Clefable here for some backup. Another Verdant Anger and Solar Beam coming out from that Venusaur there. We have 3 members of Rise Gaming chasing them on down, but look at this. We have that basement Reggie that is still there. It is a Reggie steal.
The objectives have lasted so long in this game. This is the second basement Reggie that's up at 2 minutes and 50 seconds, and I don't even know if we're going to get a second Regieleki of the game. If we do, it's going to be basically unusable. That's just how long these teams have been kind of fighting around, but there we go. Lapras is going to get a first big pick right here, and that's going to force most of Rise Gaming to just back off. We're starting to get to the point where you really don't want to overcommit to a fight for this Reggie steal. Everybody wants it, but nobody wants to put in the work to get it.
Well, that's the thing. Is it going to be a risk worth taking? This is going to be huge for the final stretch. But whichever team locks it on down, and it ends up being AKJIL that gets themselves that attack buff.
Ooh, and now we're actually going to see an aggressive play from Rise Gaming. Even though they did manage to get that buff on the side of AKJIL, they are the ones who want to retreat. They're the ones who want to make sure that they're in positioning for Rayquaza. They are down by a lot of points, 104 points. Again, Regieleki spawning 4 seconds before the 2-minute mark, the second one of the game. Very strange, but this is going to all come down to this fight. AKJIL has some really amazing team fight potential, and if they can pull it off in the right way, I feel like they could be in total control of this.
Well, that's the thing. It's all about these positionings. It's all about these choices that they have to make under pressure. Making sure Venusaur ends up getting their Unite move back there, has joined the fight. And look at that, those solar beams in sync.
They were also in sync with the Rayquaza tornado, by the way. It was just a big old combo from 3 different teams technically on this map. Rayquaza's like, hey, leave me alone. Can't you all just fight your own battles? Why you gotta bug me right now? I'm just spawning in 2 minutes trying to live out my life.
Trying to live out that life, but I don't know if that life is going to last much longer as it is getting chipped away by this Glaceon. It is about a quarter HP there, almost at half, but look at this, a huge Horn Leech coming in out from that Trevenant. It is using that Phantom Forest to just get that knockup, but we do have a reset from this Umbreon diving on in, using that Unite move, and now they are trying to collapse onto this Mew and take it out. Clefable Powerful flying up into the sky, being able to get a KO.
That's going to be the final member of AKJIL going down. And with this much time left, I don't know if we're going to see an attempt for Ray. There's a huge lead regardless, over 200 points. I've got to say, that combo between the Trevenant and the Do Trio Unite was beautiful. That was the game winner for sure, as we are going to, I think, make it to a game 3 of this set.
Holy moly, we have seen so many game 3 situations today. And you know what? Even though Rise Gaming, they don't make it through, as we said, they want to look impressive. They want to put on a show and show us why they are here today at the World Championships.
Oh, very. Honestly, if this had been the first game, this would have been a much scarier situation. AKJIL, they do know now at the very least that they are in a much safer position. So they're feeling good. Still, regardless of the other side, like I said, everybody's playing to win regardless of the stakes. There is, of course, like I mentioned, the stakes of being second place. Top 16 does make it into the money, but everybody just wants to prove themselves. I think that's the biggest thing about the Unite community in general. I feel like everybody's in it to prove that they are the teams to beat.
Definitely, but I think we need to hear from our analysts, Spraggles and Zoinks.
Thank you so much, you two. Yeah, a very interesting game too. Rise Gaming having a comeback here in this situation, wanting, of course, what we talked about, put Brazil back on the map. They can look at that score graph, though. Rise Gaming kind of in charge the entire game all the way to the finish line.
Yeah, Rise really crushing it this game and having an amazing fight right there at the end too. Just absolutely wiping AKJIL off of the Thea Sky Ruins here. It's unfortunate they didn't have that for a game 1, giving them the opportunity to move on here, but they have a lot to prove inside this game. Obviously, Rise wants to show up on the world stage, and they absolutely did it here in game number 2.
Draft of Rise Gaming's World Championship run.
That's right. AKJIL has already qualified for day 2. They are making it to our top 8 alongside teams like Luminosity. You just saw Obo Amasinian, Oyasumi Makaro. So many great teams are heading into day 2. And then after this matchup right here, Zoinks, we are going to be seeing Tally Bobo Believers versus 0-0 Nation on the main stage to decide which one of those first seed teams from their region is going to move on to day 2.
Going to be a crazy game to watch. I cannot wait. And this game is already starting off pretty interesting. We have the Leafeon in that first selection for the side of Rise Gaming, wanting that huge burst damage from the Speedster. The Solar Blade has been looking fantastic today, but AKJIL double defender grab with their second row of picks.
Yeah, it seems like AKJIL just loves running this double defender. Whether they get Lapras or not, they just love this amount of bulk right here. They also have this Inteleon, which was definitely a problem last round for them. So they obviously want to steal this away here from Rise Gaming. We can see the Urshifu and the Clefable getting locked in here for Rise as we have the final picks here coming out for AKJIL. We're going to have to see what they want to bring out. Hoopa is obviously such a popular choice. It often doesn't even go this late into a draft. A lot of teams pick it up earlier.
Yeah, looks like AKJIL not even going to grab it. Actually going to set that one aside and instead grab that Blissey for that pocket style of support gameplay. And of course, Egg Bomb secure, nothing to write home about either. You do have a few chances at some of these objectives that otherwise would be a little bit too tough to grab. Final selection for Rise Gaming, though, is this Venusaur. I actually really like this selection into the enemy team comp. Glaceon might be a bit tough to deal with. Liquidation and Inteleon might be a bit tough to deal with. But if you get the proper support from your Clefable and Lapras, this Venusaur is going to have an amazing game.
Yeah, Venusaur could have a really great game right here. Rise Gaming versus AKJIL. Everything for Rise that is on the line is the pride. It is them showing up here at Worlds and putting in an amazing performance. AKJIL right now, I mean, this could be just be some practice for tomorrow. Just getting them ready for what's coming next here inside this tournament. Obviously, their sights are already set on the horizon. They are already looking forward right here. But they don't want to stumble against Rise. They want to go 3-0 in their group. Like we said, they want to prove something.
Absolutely. 10 more minutes to showcase your region. And of course, 10 minutes is going to be wonderfully casted by Wonder Chef and Kelosaurus. You two take us into game 3.
Spraggles, as we head on into game 3, we are about to see a matchup here.
We are Now, one thing I want to point out is I don't think we've seen too much of Liquidation Inteleon plus Glaceon. That could be a whole lot of kind of homing missiles in on one target. That might be one of the scariest things anybody could run into. There's just like 20 projectiles behind you and you're just running. You're like, ah, somebody block for me. But here we go. Game number 3. AKJIL on the left, Rise Gaming on the right. AKJIL already qualifying, but if Rise Gaming can get a win here, I feel like that'll be a really big kind of morale win for them.
Yes, it's all about that morale. It's all about looking impressive for your region here. But over on the orange side, we do have Rise, the Urshifu making, well, actually Kubfu at the moment, just trying to battle this Excalibur, take it down, get that blue buff for itself.
Oh, and there's a little bit of a strange battle here as we're going to see the slow poke trying to retreat a little bit far. It is in a pretty aggressive spot right here. It's not going to be super safe. However, there's not going to be a lot of aggression on it. It looks like they're putting a lot more focus on trying to stop that Sobble from getting strong. As we know now, Inteleon is one of the key meta Pokemon of this tournament.
Yeah, but then sending it into lane, it obviously won't end up getting that level straight away. So it's all about securing these shared Pokemon.
I would actually not be surprised if we ended up seeing it take the second round of the center area now that we see the Glaceon become a Glaceon, get that first power spike. I'm curious if we're going to see that, but of course any of that is going to happen for sure after these birds that just disappeared in a split second. Nobody's taking the fight. Everybody's just trying to get some secure off of that. One more little bit of a fight here for this final Indeedee, and it looks like that one did go to the side of AKJIL, guaranteed. So who will be taking this second round of center area Pokemon? Will they even get there, or will they just keep fighting? And there we go, the Glaceon getting that first early level from the jungle. That's going to be big.
The aggression that AKJIL is showing right now, and the presence on that Clefable having to go back, grab a berry, but it allows them to get those Aeos energies in. Otherwise, we do have Urshifu and Lapras also evening up the scoreboard. It's only 60 to 44 early games, but you know what? Much needed stacks nonetheless.
All right, 8-minute center Pokemon are spawning, and where's it going to go to? Honestly, the secure wasn't really there on the side of AKJIL. You need some kind of AoE secure overall, and that was very, very much there more for the side of Rise Gaming, especially having Urshifu there. In the meantime, though, we did actually see the Inteleon, or not quite an Inteleon yet, take most of the center farm. However, now we're going to start to try to vie for some positioning. Oh no, the positioning that you do not want is to be back in your own base. That's a KO, and that's going to be 2 even on the pad. We might be seeing a little bit of a runaway here as this Urshifu and currently Ivysaur combo are just wrecking house.
They are wrecking house, making sure to match their opposition here. We do have those Swablu's and Altaria being taken down by that Solar Beam. We have Umbreon making sure to take down that big one. But you know what? It gave up the Clefable to dunk in 28 points and get those stacks in. Going back for some more Aeos energy on the ground and getting in another 4.
All right, so kind of getting free reign over there as most of the members now are going to be rotating down all the way to this basement Reggie. We're going to see the Reggie Ice spawn, and it looks like most of Rise actually just going to give that up. They do not even want to challenge that. The numbers advantage was there on the side of AKJIL, and they just do not want to start losing this level advantage that quickly, but that's going to happen anyway, unless you can block this, and a great block from the Ivysaur, potentially saving that Urshifu, but no! Attempt number 2! Like I said, the double homing missile comp. How do you escape that?
You can't unless you have a defender by your side to block it on out. We do have Lapras coming in for some backup. The Glaceon doing that moonwalk backwards, trying to escape. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to.
Oh no, this is, there was an attempted aggression that maybe was a little bit too aggressive. It looks like most of these are probably going to, in the center, go to Rise Gaming though, so there will be a little bit of experience farm back. And this is looking pretty even altogether. I mean, Rise Gaming does have a pretty significant advantage just over the fact there's one level, well, now it's level 8 on the side of AKJIL, but there is a level 10, 2 level 10, so it's kind of just spread differently.
It is spread differently, but we have 4 Unite moves on the side of Rise Gaming, along with 4 Unite moves on the side of AKJIL. It looks like Rise Gaming, they're trying to take down this Regieleki. AKJIL not really worrying too much as they know they can defend it, possibly, unless Rise Gaming are going to push on forward. We do have that Lapras Express being popped on down, and they are going downtown to take on this Blissey.
Oh, that poor Blissey was just out of its league and out of its safe zone. And this might be an attempt to, I was going to say push down this tier 2 tier 2. And they're going to be getting a good amount in here. Not really working towards that potential like overdunk situation, but if it does get to a race situation, having this extra 47 points on that tier 2 is going to be gigantic.
Every single point matters in a game of Pokemon Unite. You want to be able to get in as many as you can earlier on. That way you do not have to rely on a Rayquaza and you can just sit tight and hopefully defend it. But look at this, up in the top half on the minimap, we have the Venusaur being able to dunk in another 40, just broadening that gap.
Ooh, and now there's a little bit of a challenge here. 3 members only of Rise Gaming. They're going to push in a significant amount of damage, but oh, that might be an overcommitment, and that's going to be the Leafeon going down instantly. Glaceon down on the other side, but this is just a whole lot of AoE damage from both comps, and who can get this last hit on this Registeel? It looks like there's going to be way more members of AKJIL around. I think the only chance there was going to be maybe that Urshifu, but it decided that it wanted to defend instead. It will be a great choice here, along with this Clefable to defend this goal zone, but only for so long as the Urshifu goes down. Damage coming from both sides. Everybody but the Glaceon is in this fight right now. Huge beam taking down the Inteleon as well. This is such a back and forth as one more is going to go down. That Slowbro's not getting out of there, but that's the last that they're going to be taking in that fight. The levels still staying relatively even, but that score lead is starting to grow huge for Rise Gaming.
It is growing huge indeed, but you know what? We do have both of these tier 1 pads still open, so possibly going to get some backouts. But look at this, the Leafeon diving on its fellow Evolution here, trying to take down the Glaceon. Who's going to get the homing missiles, as you said, ends up knocking down the Leafeon.
That Leafeon is definitely going to be a huge target for that. The Leafeon and the Urshifu, you know, they don't have that much HP, that many defenses. So if you can get that damage on them, the auto track is going to be huge. And wow, the attempt was there from the Umbreon, but it is going to go down. And this might be for 2-0. Unless we can get exactly that, at least the Scald actually coming out from the Slowbro is going to go down in turn, but at least there was an exchange of experience.
It was an exchange of experience, but you know what? That tier 2 base, we have a Regieleki that is waiting here to possibly be taken by Rise Gaming and apply some more pressure, but Urshifu is getting it taken down and attacked. Lapras can do nothing but retreat back to pad, possibly get some shields and wait in this tall grass for a potential ambush.
Oh, that's the other thing here. The ability to burn. Oh, I was going to say the ability to burn is so good, but the ability to secure is on the other Evolution, and that's going to be that Solar Blade. Such an amazing move, and that's going to be huge with 30 seconds left going to Ray. There are no tier 1s or tier 2s defending this. They have to deal with this Regieleki. It's low, but the space that it's going to build is huge, and we're actually going to see Rise Gaming trying to follow it up.
They are trying to follow it up, apply that pressure, and just get that space and possibly get this positioning as well. They are retreating on back as we do have Rayquaza that is about to spawn in 5 seconds.
Their positioning is so good, and wow, they're trying to get the final hit, not quite there. I love the attempt, but it didn't quite work out. But still, the positioning is so strong on the side of Rise Gaming. They're holding the choke points. If anybody tries to jump in, they're going down. The Inteleon actually already got picked off screen, so there are only 4, and the members of AKJIL have to jump in now, as we're already at about half-life on Rayquaza.
It's interesting to see the Leafeon going and trying to chip away at that Rayquaza. Unfortunately, they just didn't have enough shred. We do have the Urshifu Unite move on the Slowbro, but it was able to tank it there. We do have Glaceon being taken down by the Perish Song of the Lapras. And look at this, Rayquaza super duper low, and it ends up being the Inteleon that got the steal!
AKJIL! They're still down, though, by over 200 points. They've got to put in so many. And there's a big 100, a second one. They're still not quite there. They're going to see it. They're going to see that it's close. They might not know that they are down by just this many. It's 11 points. It's a close battle. That's what the players are going to be seeing. Are we going to see more aggression? We've still got the Slowbro with the shield. That is huge.
That is huge. Look at that shield. That is pretty much half of the bar there. So they cannot get taken down. But you know what? We have 4 members of Rise Gaming putting up the defenses. I don't think they know that they are in the lead right now.
Oh no, can this Slowbro get past? Oh, the shield, it's going in! The points are going in! The lead going to AKJIL with 30 seconds left!
No way! The timed eject button to just go over that wall and get in that dunk is insane. 20 more seconds left on the clock. We do have 4 members of Rise Gaming marching on through. Lapras Express being popped on out, taking Venusaur for a ride along with a Vernon Anger. Can they get these dumps in?
They need to get something and they need to score. Their health is going down. They're all trying to score all at the same time. We got some in. I don't think it was enough. 48, probably not enough, unless there was something else that got scored at that exact moment. Just to be sure, we need to look at this score graph. AKJIL on the left, Rise Gaming on the right, and it's gonna be by less than 40 points. AKJIL, of course, qualifying for our finals bracket tomorrow and winning the set 2-1.
That must feel good. You do not obviously want to progress over onto day 2, losing a 2-1 set, but they are showing why they are one of our top 8 teams.
Incredible showing from them. Once again, mentioning it, our analyst said it before, but a region that was not expected to do nearly as this well, right? This was a tough group, and they dominated it. A lot of people's predictions had them at the bottom of this group, and they are far and away at the top. A tough loss you can see on the other side, but Rise Gaming once again showing a really great showing. That match was as close as it can get.
Look, I've said it before, and I think a few of you have also said it multiple times today. Expect the unexpected when it comes to a match of Pokémon Unite.
Oh, especially when it comes to a match from different regions. Korea showing up so strong there. I am personally extremely impressed. And now we've got nearly every single team qualified for tomorrow. There's one more, but we can see just even from the 7 that we have, how many different regions have qualified. We've had APAC qualify, we've had Korea qualify, we've had Japan, we've had North America, we've had, I mean, honestly, I need to look at the full list before I make a mistake here, but we are spread very thin as far as how much representation from each region there actually is.
All right, let's have a look at this graph here. Obviously, it was such a close match at the end. We didn't know who was going to come out on top, but the Slowbro coming in clutch, getting that dunk in, and making AKJIL rise above Rise.
Oh my gosh, look how close that was. They pumped all the way up, and then it got to be so close at the end. But they were losing by quite a bit, I have to say. AKJIL was fighting from behind that entire time, and a lot of that is, look at this damage. 2 members, not just the Venusaur, but also the Lapras with over 100,000 damage on top of a 72k from the Leafeon and 50k from the Urshifu. This is just a lot of damage.
I think it's just a reflection of this match. It was just brawls all day long in this match. But you know what? Those homing missiles, as you said, Inteleon and
Yes.
Glaceon, what a duo. But we have to go and look at the final minute of this match. We do have Efe retreating on back, but that Slowbro obviously having that shield, it is so pivotal.
This was everything right here. MVP play for sure. This was make it or break it. And this patience to make sure that there was just a little bit of extra time was so good. You can even see that the Inteleon is there just to maybe even distract a little bit. And look, it distracts the Lapras, but the eject button over and just barely getting through with such a huge shield, of course, being able to come out from that slow